If the genie in the bottle gives you one wish, what would it be? I look forward to your answers to this question. Which wish would you choose? Enjoy the show. Story 1. The obvious answer is infinite wishes, with stipulations for charitable interpretation, etc. If dealing with a BS monkey paw wishmaster scenario. If some stipulation is made about not allowing infinite wishes, then the next best answer is to ask for something that comes as close as possible to amounting to infinite wishes, without being literally infinite wishes, such as wishing for all of the powers of the superhero Spectre, without any of the limitations, etc. Again, with stipulations for charitable interpretation of the wish, etc. To get around BS monkey paw wishmaster nonsense. Story 2. I'd wish for the genie's freedom, which would discourage them from monkey pawing the outcome. If the genie is malevolent, oh well, my bad. But if the genie is anywhere a decent person, they'd probably do me a solid without the risk of screwing me over. Story 3. One wish, what would it be? The best possible answer to any question, why? Want to live forever? Just ask, how do I achieve unlimited lifespan? Want vast wealth? Just ask, what do I do to make the most dollar as quickly as possible? Want success with any relationship? Just ask, what do I say or do so the other person will respond positively? Want incredible charisma? Just ask, how do I become more persuasive? And so on. Story 4. I'd remove greed from all humans forever, or maybe just tone it down to my level. Greed is the biggest evils in the world, responsible for so much pain and destruction so that a few can have more than they can possibly use. Either that, or I'd change human history to a world where only 1 in 10 babies is male. Nobody remembers our current world except me, just to see what changes. Story 5. I wish that I would constantly and rapidly get noticeably better at anything and everything I put effort towards. That right there would A. Give me the drive to put effort into things. B. Give me noticeable and tangible results so I don't get disheartened. And C. Would let me get a much better standard of life, because I can turn skill into money for a lot of things. Story 6. A better idea than simply wishing for $1 billion is to take that $1 billion off from someone. X. Take $1 USD from every working person on Earth. There are an estimated 3.5 billion employed people in the world, so that's an easy $1 billion. Better yet, take 1% money of every billionaire on Earth. According to Forbes, there are about 2770 people in Earth that is estimated to be net worth of over $1 billion or over. Even if each individual is worth $1 billion in those 2770, that is easily about $2 trillion net worth in total, and 1% of a trillion is 10 billion. Even if we're trying to measure real money rather than net worth, taking 1% of every billionaire's bank account will still reasonably get you over $1 billion. Story 7. I would wish for Data from Star Trek to actually exist and be my friend assistant. He could show us how to build replicators solving scarcity on Earth, starships for us to explore the universe and cure most every disease. I would explain to him the concepts of blood transfusion, bone marrow transplant from younger cloned tissue, and then he'd easily perfect that, and we could reverse aging, and we'd all live for hundreds, if not thousands of years. Earth would be a utopia within a decade. Story 8. To snap my fingers at will whenever I wish, and the result would be demotivation of anyone I have mentally targeted. The entire Russian military. Snap! They drop their weapons and don't care about Ukraine anymore. They all go home to be with their families. The entire Chinese military. Snap! They don't give a rip about Taiwan anymore and go back to their own coastal defense. North Korea. Snap! They don't care about their hermit country anymore and really integrate with South Korea again. Hamas, ISIS, Hezbollah, snap. They lay down their weapons and ideals and abandon it all and decide this extremist Muslim thing is dumb. Time to do some real good in the world and help people. Basically, I could demotivate people from pursuing any kind of goal at will. No one is killed by this power, just realigned in their mental design and constitution. They just don't care anymore about whatever populist or major goal that threatens peace somewhere else in the world or threatens someone else. Story 9. I would wish to have never existed. I repeat this wish to myself hundreds of times every day. This is an intrusive thought or passive suicidal ideation. I have already blocked Reddit cares. I do not earn enough money to pay for medical care, so I am waiting on charity wait lists, hoping for help. Story 10. I wish I had the ability to bend space-time/matter in any way that would benefit myself and others. Why, you ask? It would allow me to shapeshift at will and present myself in any way I wanted to. This would essentially enable me to prevent cause tragedy of any kind anywhere. It would grant me immortality if I so please. It would allow me to create wormholes that would enable me to teleport anywhere I please. It would enable me to pull all chemical compounds out of the air around me and manifest it in front of me in any form. It would enable me to communicate messages into people's minds via quantum entanglement and read their minds. I would even be able to meld their personalities to rid them of sick desires. With this, it could make me all-knowing. It would essentially turn me into a god, and I could potentially even start granting wishes for other people who are deserving. The possibilities of this wish are endless, and it doesn't go against the rules of wishing per se. Story 11. The United States must only operate with a balanced budget. If the budget is not balanced, then all members of Congress, and the President, VP, and cabinet members will have their wealth confiscated until it is balanced. If it cannot be balanced, then they all get herpes. If they have herpes, they get the clap. If they have herpes and the clap, they get crabs. They continue to accumulate STDs, which they cannot be cured of or spread until the budget is balanced. Story 12. To know everything, you would know all ways to earn money. Know how the earth was created. If people are lying or being honest, know all the mysteries of the earth. Just know everything. Probably would leave you depressed, but I'm already depressed and don't know anything. I'd have an answer to every question or know what to say or how to act in every situation. Ultimate knowledge. Story 13. Assuming I'm not allowed to use gimmicks or loopholes such as additional wishes or genies, then I'd just pick, I'd wish to cease my existence. And if there is an afterlife, I don't want my current consciousness in any way transferred to it. But most importantly, the genie has to pull this off in a way so as not to alarm or sadden my family or friends. Story 14. I want the power to make someone have mild but painful inconveniences, limited to 24 hours each, as many people as I want. There's a misogynist or two at my work. Every time they say a shitty thing, I'll make them stub their toe on every corner and step in a muddy puddle and hit the funny bone parts of their body and accidentally poke the same eye like 4x. Just mild, painful shit for 24 hours. Story 15. Teleportation. The ability to transport myself and anything I'm carrying. Most people think about transporting on Earth, but imagine getting a spacesuit and transporting anywhere. Egg-distant planets and taking measurements, video, etc. for NASA and whatnot. If NASA was able to build a base on the moon, then you could carry large components due to the low gravity and transport it to orbit around those distant planets and make outposts all around the universe. Story 16. My first wish is always the ability to know anything I truly would like to know and never lose the knowledge of how to use the ability. This would mean I do not have to know everything all the time, but could be set with a trigger of, I wish I knew. This first wish can solve many other main wishes. I could learn how to make money real fast, how to extend life, how to cure anything, etc. Could even learn if another genie is out there, or could be made to get more wishes. Story 17. Free education, free art, free data, free exchange of all information. I don't know how I would word it. Basically, if it's been thought, written, spoken, then it should be public domain. You taking your ideas to the grave sounds like damnation. Looking at you draftsmen/architects, I'm just salty about floor plan prices. Story 18. All serious crimes, the date they occurred, and whether or not you meant to do it appears over everyone. Whether anyone actually saw it or was proven. If you did it, people can see it. What qualifies as a crime is a combination of what the various legal systems say, but filtered through me because it's my wish. In a country where it's illegal to be gay or something, fuck that. If it's legal anywhere for adults to hook up with children, it goes on the list anyway. Story 19. To be immortal in a healthy 25-year-old body with the ability to end my life once I've decided I'm done. It'd be a little work on the front end, but I'd just keep working and saving for retirement until I have enough dividends or funds to live well forever. I'm afraid of getting older and dying and not being able to see or experience so much more than I already will in my lifetime. Story 20. The ability to transform myself or anything near me at will. That's all the flight superpowers. That's anti-aging, that's shape-shifting, that's preserving my loved ones. That's potentially fame and fortune. That's 10001 kinky things that's a service to be sold. Imagine the good you could do as the ultimate plastic surgeon, cure the blind, remove tumors, give trans people the perfect transition, restore disabilities. Open a Vegas show with the best trained animals the world could possibly know without any ethical harms. Give the people close to me the best versions of their bodies or whatever custom features they desire. Be anything. Want to be a dog today? Why not? Trade sexes with the wife. Hell, both sexes with the wife. Be tiny. Be huge. Be buff. Be anything. Absolute dream. Story 21. First wish is a gamble, but I wish for all the genie laps. This might be the only one, but it's possible there are more. Also, ID. Write down everything I want with bullet points with legal specific definitions so I don't get any confusion, and then as my one wish, I'd ask for everything on my list. Story 22. The ability, knowledge, and expertise to speak each language on Earth fluently without ever forgetting it. The amount of money you could get as a multilingual person translating for everyone and everything would be great. You could even work on the go. Any country you go to visit, you could effectively and easily communicate with the locals. Story 23. I would wish that I could go back to, say, 14, 15 years old and retain all the knowledge and experience I have as an adult. That way I could have sort of a life 2.0. It'd give me the opportunity to Biff Tannen things, making sports bets and investing the winnings in Google and Apple and Facebook. And to finish off the wish, I'd ask the genie for an out. 30 years from the day I get sent back, the genie would show up and ask me if I wanted to stay in this new timeline or go back to the old one. Story 24. Not me, but I'm shamelessly taking this opportunity to share one of the most heartwarming experiences I've ever had with my daughter. And I want to relive it and appreciate it for how special a moment it was. I'm in recovery, and it's this that I need to remember I'm fighting addiction for. I asked her, 7 yo, if you could have anything in the world, BC it was near Xmas, what would you have? She looked at me wide-eyed with no hesitation and said, you, Mom. It just was so meaningful, and I just feel so blessed. Story 25. I wish for a notebook, one imbued with magic from the same source as the genie. Whatever I write into the notebook, once closed, will then happen. It only works for me, and people will not notice any changes the notebook does. I own a beautiful red motorcycle, and it's parked on the street right in front of me. Close notebook. Red motorcycles appear on the street right in front of where I am now, and no one has noticed it appear. Kinda like Death Note, just more powerful for things outside of death. Once I had that, I would very carefully craft wishes, writing them down in other notepads, analyzing them for the downsides, and correcting the wording before finally writing it into the magic notebook. Story 26. I'm going to go with a device that correctly predicts tomorrow's lottery numbers. I can then play and win lesser amounts when I want and fly under the financial radar. I don't need or want $1 billion, but winning $150,000 every year or so would be perfect. Need a new TV? I'll play 2 or 3 pick 3 tickets with the same numbers and cash each $500 ticket at a different place. Story 27. I don't have to pay for Lego ever again. Now, I know most would want money, but if you get Lego, those sets rise in value after their discontinuation. People will drop shit loads of cash on them. Plus, now I can stroll out of the Lego store with the Titanic and not have security chase me again. Story 28. That my son be reborn, my healthy baby with none of what killed him, so I can just have him again from the beginning, and this time watch him grow up. I can't undo the past without undoing other stuff, but just to get to have him again and let him grow up to be all the potential he had. He was so loving, he was so sweet, he loved music so much. That's the one wish. Get him back, and not in pain, while having our second baby, who we only have because we knew what to test for. The oldest can be the youngest. I just want both my kids to be okay. Story 29. The reason people would choose something is obviously because it would make them happy. But unfortunately, at some point or the other, things get saturated. So logically speaking, the best thing to choose is for eternal happiness, without any kind of saturation and having that feeling forever. To be happy forever, the dose of anything needs to constantly increase. But if the genie can just ensure that I'm always feeling happy, then I basically have an always increasing dose of everything. Story 30. My cousin is getting married soon. My late cousin, her younger brother, passed away 6 years ago. And my wish would be for him to be able to come back from heaven, even if it was just for one day or just for the ceremony. I miss him so much, it's unbearable. And he should have been there to watch his big sis get married. F drunk drivers. Story 31. For all species of bedbugs to immediately go extinct. I had a bad experience once because the neighbor's landlords refused to deal with them properly, and they spread over to my place. Long story. Though it is still debated, the ecological importance of bedbugs is either about 0 or quite small, especially when compared to other bloodsuckers like mosquitoes. This makes sense to me, since humans are pretty good at keeping most things that would prey on them, birds, rodents, even spiders, out of our houses, or at least out of our beds. Don't even care if the genie makes them extinct by making them all burst into flame. Revenge is mine. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, like it. Be sure to write comments and share your stories.